After finally being Shadow of the Erdtree twice, I can finally put my opinions on the bosses and where to rank them. I did most of these boss fights solo, but there's only two that I had to use summons on because I am the little baby that I am. Well, three actually. One of them was for a quest and for the story, and I'm pretty sure you can already guess which one that is. The bosses will be ranked not by lore, but how much I enjoyed them and how much I had fun fighting the boss fight. During my live streams of the DLC, I was almost handheld through all of the bosses. I used Mimic Tier or online summons for most of them, but after playing this without not summoning for most of the bosses, I was pretty confident about it, even for the ones that I thought I wasn't going to beat. So let's just get right into the ranking. At dead last, number 11, we got Commander Gaius. I think this is very self-explanatory. I don't think anyone likes this boss. There's nothing good to say about him. He has the worst hitbox, and dash attack is way too annoying, and I don't think there's a bigger glazer in history than this guy. Even if you summon, he'll always come towards you. You just don't have any space in the fight to breathe or heal. It's rarely possible. And if you do, you're gonna say goodbye to the health you just restored. There's just nothing fun about this boss fight. The only thing I can say good about it is that the design looks cool, and I think Gaius is looks cool. But and if everything else sucks, among all of the Gaius haters, I'm one of them. If there's only one Gaius hater, that would be me. If there was no Gaius haters, I'd still hate Gaius. There's nothing to say about this boss that hasn't been said already. He sucks. This was a hard place to put a boss here because no one's worse than Gaius. If Gaius was on a tier list, he'd be put below horrible, even worse than that. This boss makes me feel sad, but everything goes away after realizing this old sunflower tree has 3 health bars, each one probably easier than the last. Maybe the second phase is a bit tough. The reason why no bosses have double health bars is because this boss took them all. Some strange sunflower tree thing has all the health bars. I mean, no one would expect it, so FromSoft, good job for that. But this fight really just makes me feel a bit, just because of the soundtrack, you know. It's just trying to protect itself or something like that, you know. It's not the best boss, but it's definitely better than Gaius. Number 9, we got the final boss for the DLC. Just seeing Radon at the pearly white gates of heaven stand there menacingly is pretty awesome. But the only thing is, I'm not the biggest Radon fan. I was kind of disappointed that this was the final boss and not really Mikola. Well, I guess he's kind of the final boss as well. But I'm not the biggest Radon enjoyer. I don't really enjoy the main game fight. And I was kind of let down that Radon was the final boss fight. Also, I did no damage to this boss, so this is one of the bosses I summoned with, and earlier with Gaius was my Mimic Tier. But this guy is just impossible. I do sort of like the fight. He's just, I feel, too hard for me that I had to summon. I collected all Shadow Tree blessings. I had been maxed out, which is 20. So, really, this fight's, honestly, I like it. It's awesome. I think the music's great. The design is too. But again, it's Radon. I know a lot of people love Radon, but you know, I'm not the biggest Radon lover. I would have just preferred it's just Mikola. It was kind of messed up knowing that Mikola used Moog's body for Radon and his soul. Everyone thought Moog was the Moog Lester. It turns out he's been Moog Lester. Congratulations, Moog. You beat the allegations. Number 8, the Putrescent Knight. Honestly, this arena is beautiful, and I love the design of the boss. The only thing I don't like about it is the insane combo he does with the horse, and him, where he gets off the ground, then the horse runs towards you, and then repeats that. It's probably my least favorite thing about the fight, but everything about it else is awesome. There's really nothing to say about this guy, other than he's an alright boss, definitely a better one. So, what would be even better than Frostbite, in my opinion, is that he could inflict sleep. I don't think we've got bosses that inflicted sleep, since he's associated with Saint Trina, who's basically sleep, Yeah, moving on. Romina, Saint of the Blood, is coming at number 7. This boss was the most forgettable boss of the whole DLC, and I even forgot about her until I reached her boss arena. That's just how forgettable this fight was. She has a banger soundtrack hidden behind a decent boss. She's not the best, I wouldn't say that, but she's a mediocre boss. I mean, her design's pretty awesome, but, she inflicts Scarlet Rot, which is like the worst sass in the game, and she's a forgettable boss. Moving on. Number 6, we got Midra, the Finger Mother, or Meter. It doesn't matter. This creepy finger monster is honestly a better boss. And the Mother of Fingers, she's gonna finger you or something like that. I mean, she has fingers, which is pretty freaky, I guess. But the whole questline to this boss fight was awesome, and I do really love her design. But she was a pretty easy boss. I was like Shadow Tree level, maybe 15 or 17 when I fought her. Yeah, I collected all the Shadow Tree blessings before fighting the bosses. You have a problem with that? I like to be powerful early. The arena is probably the most prettiest one I've seen so far, excluding the Putrescent Knight one. And the lore behind this boss fight is insane too. So, honestly, very enjoyable. I really like it. And right exactly in the middle is the first boss of the DLC, Dancing Divine Beast Lion. This boss was a pretty solid introduction to what you're getting into, and the music just slapped for this one. I was trying to concentrate, but the music for this fight just made me all hard, and it was very awesome. There was problems with the camera though, but that is only the problems I had for my live stream. I didn't have any troubles for when I fought for the footage. But this fight is pretty awesome, and I think the design looks cool. And it turns out it's actually 2 people under a costume, and I find that pretty interesting. And it definitely represents the Chinese culture with like the dancing lions, or dragons, whatever. Sorry, but yeah, it's an awesome boss, and I think it's a good one. Number 4, Rana, Twin Moon Knight. This boss is like the walk-in boss. She's very fast and demands you to be on edge at all times. I was using the backhand blade, which is probably the best weapon in my opinion in DLC, followed up by the Blood Fiend's arm, but the Ash of War is really helpful, and it's really quick. And of course, like a little loser I am, I put bleed on it, so it does blood loss damage, which I like because less health equals better. During the second phase, she'll take out her magic and Mesmer fire swords or put the enchantment on it, trying to cosplay Pontiff sort of thing. And then later in the phase, she just drops her tits and drops her full moons on us. She gives us the back shots of infinity. This fight was pretty difficult to many, but honestly, I found it a piece of cake to just like study her moves and just get good, or level up your Shadow Tree blessings if you want to do damage at all. Number 3, we got Midra, Lord of the Frenzied Flame. Honestly, I would have put this boss at number 2 if number 2 wasn't the reason why it's there. This guy, I feel like he was easier than the area he's located in. Just the woods trying to get there was pretty stressful with all the winter lanterns trying to attack you. But anyways, this place was pretty creepy, and at first, during the live stream, I thought the little guy was the boss fight. Then he decapitates himself, and to reveal he's a Lord of the Frenzied Flame. Honestly, this fight was very good. I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely fight him again if I could. But I don't feel like spending 30 hours trying to get to DLC again just to fight him. Or I could summon and help people. But enough said. This boss is very underrated, and it's the reason why I love it.
Curse you, Baal! I hereby vow you will rue this day. Behold, a true great warrior and I, Egon, your fears made flesh.
The entrance that Igon gave was probably the best dialogue ever, and this is probably the best dragon fight in From Software because of how great it is. I even thought it was the final boss fight during my first playthrough, and you know what? It should have been. I would have taken Bale over Radon any day because Bale has awesome soundtrack, like final boss worthy soundtrack, and the arena and the place before it, like when you're scaling the giant peak, it just looks final area worthy. He's a pretty big target, which allows you to hit him a lot and stay at one place, like his legs. I rarely hit his head. I don't think I even hit it at all. But this dude was the best dragon fight ever, and would be the best fight if only the first boss on this list was not as good as this one, but he is.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
I think it was pretty obvious who was at number one. Mesmer definitely deserves this place because of how awesome he is. He moves really, really quick, but also has a lot of openings to attack, like a lot. And if you just stick by him, it's probably the best thing to do. And I didn't die to this boss as many times as I thought I would. I thought it would take me like 200 or maybe 100 attempts to defeat him. No, only a few, which is surprising. I think I've just gotten good, or I don't know. But second phase was probably the best thing I've ever seen. The music was crazy. He is even more aggressive, more faster, and his design with the hole in his eye is just pretty awesome. But finding out that he's abandoned in the Shadow Realm by his mother after trying to steal him there, pretty heartbreaking. But honestly, this dude, just the best badass ever. Honestly, I think it should have been Mesmer that was the final boss. He was like a poster boy of the DLC. He was advertising like everything. But yeah.
I will not suffer. Our Lord, devoid of light. No, Mother. Forgive me. Soon tarnished. Wilt thou be taken in the jaws of the abyssal serpent shorn of light?
And that's the conclusion of my ranking of all the bosses. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I recently got the paid partnership or the YouTube program, so now I make money off my videos. Hooray. So if you want to join the membership, then go right ahead, support me, and I thank you all for watching.